Hey everyone, sorry for the late upload. I had plans this weekend like the Super Bowl, so I wasn't able to jump on this as quick as normal, which is a shame because this episode was crazy. So let's get into it. This week we're tackling episode 17, GOMAH. The episode is aptly named because he is the star of this episode. We start out with our heroes talking to Arinsu, Majin Ku, and Du about the Dragon Balls. Arinsu wants all the Dragon Balls to become the king, in her case queen, of the Demon Realm like we knew, and they just want to turn back to normal size. She proposes that they fight for the Dragon Balls. Piccolo points out it's not fair, which was an awesome thing to do because you never see people in the shows actually call these out. Usually it's the fans who would do this, like, why would they agree to that when they have the advantage? We get Goku versus Du, which I think is great. It's fun, it's silly, and we get to see Goku fight against another Majin, like he did a few years ago in his time. I firmly believe that Goku could have wiped the floor with Du going all out. Now, we didn't get to see the full extent of that fight, and if he had gone Super Saiyan 3 to fight Du, he would have totally won, my opinion at least. And I think Du and him would have had to team up to take on Goku, and it would have been an interesting fight, which would have probably thrown Vegeta in, and the two of them together might have fought the two of them together. We don't know how that would have gone, but I think it would have been fun. But, of course, GOMAH is like, oh, what's this all about? I'm here to cause a ruckus and screw up all your plans because I'm king and I'm staying king. He didn't say any of that, but it's quite obvious. Of course, Vegeta went in for the punch, and I gotta say, there was a lot of parallels between GOMAH, Jiren, and Broly. Especially GOMAH blocking Vegeta with one finger, and then later on you see GOMAH going into a Broly-type explosion. There's nothing wrong with them referencing past animation, it's giving him that sense of power that those two characters have, and it works. One thing I especially loved, Bulma calls out that Goku is not being himself when he asks everyone to come join the fight with him. Because, Goku's a Saiyan, he wants to fight, but he can just... I don't know if he can detect how strong GOMAH is because it's magic, maybe it is key, but he knows the threat is huge, literally. And he knows he can't do it by himself, most likely. Which is why I don't think, at the end when we see Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it's gonna help in the fight against GOMAH, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. We might see Goku Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 challenging him and maybe being on par, but probably not enough, which is why those bugs will come back in that you see Goku drop. Probably gonna be them two fusing because that's, I'm guessing, the way that it's going. But yeah, I've got no qualms with how this is going. It's amazing. The freaking animation is beautiful. We've seen crazy good fight animations this whole entire series. This is just the icing on the cake. I think even next episode is going to outdo this. It's called The Awakening. I'm guessing that's going to suggest, the awakening of fusion, or maybe it means something else. But I don't think it's what other people on social media have been saying. Again, I saw another person talking about Super Saiyan 4 being in Daima, to the point where they made it look like a real fake screen cap it's a picture of the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta on a TV screen, even with a Crunchyroll overlay saying the episode name and a random time in the middle of the episode. Like, they went to great lengths to try and make it look legit, and people definitely fell for that because I was reading comments, and then the man himself, Slow Plays, reposted it, and I'm pretty sure he knew it was fake, but he definitely was hyping that art up, and I'm sure that's going to add to the confusion because a bunch of Dragon Ball fans follow him. Another thing I got reminded of during this fight, the beam struggle when all of them charged up their attacks and shot it at GOMAH. It reminded me of the fight with Hachiyak in the non-canon special, because, they all did the same thing. They charged up a team attack at each other, because the foe was just so overwhelming they thought that that's what they would need to take it down. This time, it didn't do a thing. It just shows how crazy powerful GOMAH is with his third eye. And speaking of power, let's discuss that for a minute. I'm sure some people are going to be like, oh, I wonder how strong GOMAH is. I think he's above Super Saiyan 3 tier, and maybe below God tier. It's like somewhere in that range. Probably, I don't know, let's say 2 or 3 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3. It's hard to tell until the series is over. After that, I'll get a better feeling, and I'll power scale it if I can. I'd like to scale the whole entire series of Daima and see how I can figure out where everyone falls. I know that's a crazy endeavor because power scaling is nuts and only some people like it, but hey, why not? Some fans have called GOMAH's design lazy because it mirrors Jiren a lot. The red and black, the body shape, and just the design. There's similarities, but there's differences. GOMAH is overly muscular to a disgusting degree. Jiren is muscular, but it's a little more refined. GOMAH is just muscles just for muscle's sake. Jiren is muscles, but like, it doesn't feel as crazy outwardly bulging like how Super Saiyan Grade 3 does. That's just my take. I think Toriyama, yeah, took some designs from the Pride Troopers for him, but I mean, hey, who cares? It looks cool. I'm not gonna complain about it, especially since he does invoke Jiren a bit, which was a recent thing, so it gives that sense of power. Speaking of GOMAH's power, he seems to be using a lot of matter manipulation. I don't know if that's his magic or if that's the Third Eye's magic, but, you know, he used the rocks floating around his castle to make the arena. When he fights, he seems to favor chucking huge rocks at people. Now, maybe that's just him doing that just because he can, or maybe, like, you know, that's his magic, like Glorious's lightning. Kind of sad we haven't really seen a whole lot of differences in magic besides this, Neva's magic, which he seems to have the most diverse type of magic, and a few other examples, but I was expecting a lot more magic in the demon realm. Not that there isn't, but, you know, I guess we just stayed so close to the plot that we didn't get to see a whole lot of it, which is fine. One thing I got a good chuckle over is, you know, when the fight with GOMAH starts, Glorio just straight up takes out his gun. Like, you know, I get it, it's his gun, and it worked on enemies before, but it's not enough. He needs to be using lightning full time, which he does start using lightning later, but bro was just like, I'm gonna whip out my gun at this ultra powerful being. Oh my god. I want to talk about Neva. He again used his magic on the Tamagami, this time Tamagami number 1. He tried to influence it by winking at it to get him to get this suggestion to go fight with them and help them out, but he didn't. I think he picked up on it, but he didn't like really think he had to, or was just stubborn about doing only the thing that he was made to do. But then Neva used a little bit of magical suggestion or brainwashing, who knows, and sent him off to fight. It was cool to see that. Neva seems to be definitely on his redemption arc thing that I've been talking about. He really wants to see something good for the Demon Realm, and I think that's going to culminate in something. I could be wrong, but maybe Neva sacrifices himself. Maybe he calls all 3 of the Tamagamis to summon and fight, and they fuse into like Tamagami Mega or something. That's ridiculous, I know, but just, hey, hear me out here. I'm going off the wall with these. But I do think Neva's going to do something big. I could be wrong. I say that a lot, but it's because it's true. I could be, and I have been. But either he'll sacrifice himself in some kind of way, or maybe he'll even fuse with another Namekian. We got Piccolo and Dende, and, you know, maybe he wants to pass his knowledge on. Or maybe he just dies an old death, or he just stays in the Demon Realm like he has been. Who knows what'll happen with Neva. I hope it's not just staying behind the Demon Realm. Kind of boring, but, you know, it could leave him open for future stuff. We'll see. Like I always say, we will see. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to mention before I wrap up, the Daima opening has got an official extended release, and I love it. So yeah, that wraps it up for this week's episode. This coming one on Valentine's Day, I don't know if I'll be able to do my episode on time like I did this week, because Valentine's Day, I have a girlfriend. But hey, we'll see. See you guys then.